Hello everyone, welcome to our December property market update and indeed our end of year wrap, I suppose. First of all, great news yesterday at the time of recording, interest rates remained on hold, which essentially means for the whole year, no more rate rises this year. Let's see what happens next year. My 2 cents on that is I think it'll remain pretty stable, maybe one more rise at absolute best or worst. And then we may start to see some reductions at some stage through the second half of the year, which is pretty cool for those that are doing it tough. So first of all, what's happened throughout the year? Obviously, heaps of rate rises. Inflation's sort of trying to get under control. Cost of living's gone up. And what's happened in the property market? So we've invested in 5 different states this year for our clients. We've gone into 30 plus markets. We've ranged from 250k purchases right up to one last week at close to 2.5 mil. So we do see a lot of markets and we do see a lot of different locations, which is pretty cool from our point of view because we get to understand apples for apples, what's happening in Victoria versus New South Wales versus Western Australia versus South Australia. And we see some hot markets and we see some cold markets. We see some opportunity here and we see some sort of balanced markets over there. So it gives us an unbelievable spin on where we think good buying is, and that means that in 2024 and beyond, we get a really good gauge as to where we're going to target our locations for our clients. Now, of course, client strategy is really based on their own situation, and location is the end piece of that. But it definitely helps if you can time a market, particularly if you're searching for yield and you want some short-term growth, but then playing the long game. So we're pretty pumped about 2024 and what it holds. I think it's going to be a year of opportunity. And I think I've probably said this a fair few times that those that'll sit on the fence will continue to miss out on the opportunity. So I think those that are prepared to take action with the right mindset and the right team of people around them, what does that mean? Well, unbelievable mortgage broker, a great accountant, a really good property manager, a really good buyer's agent or property coach. I believe you need someone in your corner as a mentor in that space. All right, you need a really good conveyancer to look over contracts, really good building and pest inspectors, like the whole team of people that makes up. Some will stay with you for a lifetime, some will be there just for the transaction, but they're really key. So having that first and foremost, but then the mindset to go with the fact that there's opportunity, there's some good options on the table for investors going into 2024. Why is that? Well, the supply and demand is the major one. The migration into Australia, but also the interstate migration that's going on and the intrastate, which is within the state. We're moving from one town to another. And usually that's a smaller town to a larger town, if that gives you a hint. So if we're taking action, we're going to get some results with that. And we'll look back on 5 years and say, yeah, I'm glad I bought in 2024 because this is what it's allowed me to do. It's allowed me to propel my portfolio at a rate of knots, as opposed to looking back with regret and saying, look, I had this equity here, I just didn't use it because I was a bit fearful. The media sort of turned me off. There was some experts out there that said there's going to be a property drop. There was all sorts of noise in my head from friends and family that says you should just stay safe for now. Well, if the numbers add up and you can lend money from the banks, the only thing missing is what's going on in here and our attitude towards creating long-term wealth for you and your family around you. So with all that said, been a wonderful year as always. Been really great to be able to talk to people. When we're doing these videos, we get heaps of personal messages saying, yeah, great, love that video, or nah, didn't like it, or had a question or a comment or a query or whatever that might be. So continue that. Love the engagement. Love bringing you hopefully some good education and some good knowledge on different markets around the country, and I'll continue to do that in 2024. Just lastly, on particular markets, a couple of big ones that are red hot at the moment. Adelaide's days on markets are really thin, as is Perth. Are we buying in those locations? Yes, but we're buying very carefully, and we're not getting caught up with everyone else's heat on the market, if that makes sense. So a lot of trying to secure some off-market stuff and just being really succinct with the strategy. Southeast Queensland, there's a fair bit happening there, as well as some regional New South Wales and regional Vic stuff. So depending on your price point, you can play the game wherever you want around the country. So hit us up if you need anything before Christmas, but look forward to working with you in the new year.